what do you say to the person? Because there's going to be people listening right now that are like, okay, yeah, great advice, right? I mean, inner voice, listen to your gut. Tried that, been there, done that, didn't work for me, you know. So and even beyond that, it might be somebody that says, I don't even want to be involved in the conversation. Like, just tell me what to do and let me do that.
And I've certainly been on that end. Like, and my friends, my closest friends can tell you, give me the plan, tell me what to do. I want to follow it.
Yep.
I want to implement it.
We will not deviate from this plan.
Yes. But I will tell you, there's a lot of value that comes from listening to yourself. And something else that my friend, if and when she listens to the episode, what I'm going to say next, she'll be laughing at inside her head. You have to also trust the process.
Oh yeah.
You have to trust, where you're going, and maybe the path to get there isn't the one that you plan for, which is me. I'm the planner.
Yep. So I'm gonna share. You're gonna share a quote later. This is not the quote for the episode, but I have to say it right now. It's super short, but it fits really well into what we're saying, and that is. The quote is, plans are useless, but planning is everything. And I want to say it was Roosevelt. It was a president that said that. But I think the idea is pretty simple, right? Plans are useless. Planning is everything. So what you just said, I want the plan. I'm not going to deviate from the plan. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. This is the order we're going to do it in. How often does that plan end up being exactly what you thought it was going to be?
Almost never.
Almost never, if not never, right? So,
right.
So the point is, I go back to all the inputs, right? So you're going to start, you're going to take an action, you're going to move forward, you're going to do something, and you're going to learn from what you're doing. So you're going to take the information you have and you're going to learn from it, right? You're going to take an action. You're going to make the best decision that you can. If we just keep doing that, we just keep getting better, right? And the only alternative to that is inaction. And what happens if you stop moving? What happens if you never make a decision? What happens if you get stuck in this idea of a process, but you never actually create a process or follow a process? What if you just don't trust that planning at all works, and so you just don't make a plan? Now you're on the opposite end of that spectrum, where all of a sudden you aren't living life, but life is happening to you,
right,
and you live a life
you.
of circumstance, right? Mm-hmm. And you have no control and no say. And a lot of people, I think, probably have an experience, and they would say, yeah, that's kind of the life that I've been living, and I don't know how to get out of it.
So we go back to your pendulum that you illustrated earlier in this, and we got to swing to the middle so we have balance. We're not so far planning to one extreme, or so far just trusting the process to the other extreme.
That's right.
So this kind of leads into our quote for the show, which is by Albert Einstein. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift.
Wow. I challenge anybody to argue with Sir Albert Einstein.
I second that.
Yeah, come on, bring it. I want to hear your somebody defute that, please, because I don't think you can. I don't think you can, and I think spot on, right? I mean, for that to be an Albert Einstein quote, and to have so much relevance in our society today. I know that what I'm about to say isn't true, but like, who are the Albert Einsteins of today that are writing the quotes and like seeing 100 years, 200 years into the future, and what they're saying and doing is going to be so relevant even then in that present once we get there.
Those are the people that I want to follow.
Those are the people I want to follow.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know. Is Elon Musk one of them? I mean, do you think
maybe he's in the category of influencer? That's for sure. He's certified genius, no doubt.
He thinks from a completely different.
Absolutely. And you have to, right? This element of looking into the future. We talked about in our last show about, things being difficult, and the idea that looking down the road 4, 5, 10, 15 years is just so difficult, cumbersome. And it's really an impossible task. But, now I kind of challenge that notion with a quote like that from Albert Einstein. You don't know when he said it, do you? What's the date?
I don't.
That would be. It's for him to have that kind of insight, that kind of foresight. For anybody to have that kind of foresight, that's amazing, and it really does. I mean, it rings so true in today's society.
So let's switch to the action item or the next steps for this to help people try to tune into their
Yeah.
intuition.
Yeah,
And
so-
then the book recommendation that you have.
So I'll take those. And so the action is simple. We've actually given this action before, but there's a slight twist on it. And that's to get your journal back out. We really want to encourage you to journal. And what I want to encourage you to do is just write it down. And the it in this scenario is, what is the it? What is that gut response? What is that instinct telling you? And if you can't tap into that yet, write down what those other voices are and where they're coming from and why you think that you're hearing those voices but not your intuition, because you may find out that voice you're hearing is your intuition. Maybe you haven't identified it correctly. But try really hard to just write them down. Anything goes, right? With journaling, as you're getting started or starting a new technique like this, I think it's important to remind yourself that there is no right or wrong way. What you want to do is just begin. Just simply begin. Write down the first word that comes to your mind and then start expanding on the idea. You get one word on a piece of paper. Why did you write that word down? Where did it come from? What were you thinking about? What was the weather like? What kind of mood are you in? All of those things play into why you're writing down what you're writing down. So get the journal back out, interact with the journal. And
it's that brain dump that we talked about.
It's the brain dump. Yeah. Start with the brain
Yeah.
dump. Absolutely. Start there and then go back and reread it. Let a couple days go by. Go back, get back involved with it, and treat it like a budget, right? So we talk about getting involved in the budget. The budget is active. You're starting over every month. So you're really recreating, even though we get better at it and it kind of get on autopilot after a certain amount of time. It's always the same process. And so journaling will become that way. And so all of a sudden, like your journaling and your budgeting activities, maybe they go hand in hand. And if that helps, with the process and helps you kind of think about how to journal and how to get in touch with these ideas, then great.
It's clarity and it's information.
Clarity and information.
It's putting something on paper and then looking at it through a different lens.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that break, write it down, whatever kind of mood you're in, giving a little bit of time and then going back and interacting with it again. You'll read it with new eyes, fresh eyes, with a new opinion, and maybe you'll have some new ideas, and you can add to that, right? And it will help over time. So the book that we're going to recommend, this one really could have gone with any episode, but specifically in the idea in the vein of being informed, making informed decisions, building confidence, trusting your gut, being able to move forward from a position of knowledge, and take an intentional step forward. We're going to recommend the book Simple Wealth, Inevitable Wealth. The author is Nick Murray, and the link will be in the description. This is a book that you can only get from him. So he's a well-renowned. You'll have instant credibility when you go to his site, start reading about him. This is not the only book that he's written, so I encourage you to check out other books. But this one in particular is a great place to start. And he releases a new version, a revision every few years, because what this really is an overview of our market, of our investment market, the entire world, trade and e-commerce, all kind of boiled down and simplified and summarized into one nice, neat little package. So the reason that we're bringing the book and Nick Murray is it's a great tool, it's a great resource, and it's a summary of what the market is doing. And so the reason that he releases a new revision every couple of years is because obviously the market is changing, right? And so he wants it to always be current and relevant and update it with any new information. And so I think currently the version that I read most recently had over 150 years of market research and data available to comment on. And so the majority of the book is unchanged, but there is a section that just keeps growing as the market changes. So great resource, highly recommend it. Nick Murray, Simple Wealth, Inevitable Wealth. It will help you identify and understand the market just a little bit better, and hopefully encourage you going forward on making future investment decisions and maybe collecting more information along the way. So that's going to be it for today.
I enjoyed it very much, and I'm looking forward to our next one.
All right. Well, take care.
All right. Be well. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Off Limits.
Beyond the podcast, we are money coaches who want to help you.
So if you are looking for help managing your money, use the links in the description below to contact either of us and learn how coaching can help you thrive.
Lastly, please help us to spread the word by subscribing, leaving a comment, and sharing our podcast with your friends and family.